In this video, I'm going to show you how to solve a trig equation of the quadratic type. And here, I'm going to start with some review so that you can see how it looks complicated, but I'll show you an easy way to do this. So I'm going to start with an equation. I want you to see that this is sine squared, and then you have sine, and then we have 1. So if I look at it, it looks like a quadratic equation. So I'm going to write the quadratic equation. So I have 2x squared. I'm going to replace the sine with x. So 2x squared. So I'm going to write here sine of x. I'm just going to replace it with x. So 2x squared, and then I'm going to use over here. So 2x squared minus 3. So whenever you see sine of x, you replace it with x. So this is going to be minus 3x plus 1 is equals to 0. And if I'm given this equation and I'm told to solve it, the first thing I'll do is to multiply 2 times 1. So I get 2. And then I need to look for two numbers I can multiply to get 2. And then when I add them, I get the middle term. So I'm going to write a times b is equals to 2. And a plus b is equals to minus 3. And those numbers must be -1 and -2. So I'm going to split the middle term into those numbers. So I'm going to have 2x squared, and then let me use a different color here, minus 1x minus 2x minus 2x is equal plus 1 is equals to 0. And then I'm going to factor by grouping. So I get 2. What's common here? 2 is not common, so but x is common. So I'm going to write x. Then this is going to be 2x minus 1. I drop the middle sign here. This is going to be negative 1. 1 is common. So this is going to be 2x minus, I need a minus here so that this is going to equal, to be the same thing, is equals to 0. Then my factors are x minus 1, 2x minus 1 is equals to 0. So that means, see, now I have factored this equation and I could solve it. So x is equals to 1, and the other one is going to be 2x is equals to 1, so x is equals to 1 over 2. So those are the solutions. Now I'm going to compare my equation with this. So this is going to be 2. This is going to be, let me use a different color here so that we can distinguish. So 2 sine squared x minus, remember it's minus 1 and minus 2, minus sine x. I don't need to write the 1, so I'm just going to write minus sine 1 sine of x minus 2 sine of x plus 1 is equals to 0. So now I can factor by grouping. So I have sine x. So this is going to be 2 sine x, 2 sine x minus 1, and drop the middle sign, minus sine, not sine, sine is not common, but 1 is common. So this is going to be 2 sine x minus 1 is equals to 0. So equal to 0. then I can separate. So I have 2 sine x minus 1 is equals to 0, and my other equation is sine is equals to sine x minus 1 is equals to 0. Then I'm going to solve this one. 2 sine x is equals to 1. So sine of x is equals to 1 over 2. And then the other one is sine of x is equals to 1. So here I need to find the angle whose sine. So I need to find sine inverse of 1/2 is equals to x. And I'm going to use a special triangle. Let me make a special triangle here. If you know these ones, you don't need to memorize the unit circle. And this is 60, this is 90, this is 2. So what is the angle whose sine is, and the angle whose sine is half? So opposite of hypotenuse, so it is going to be 30 degrees. So x is equals to 30 degrees, which is the same as pi over 6. And remember, I also need to remember that I cannot forget all students take calculus, so I need to find another angle in quadrant 2. So in quadrant 2 is going to be 180. So the other angle is going to be 180 minus 30 is equals to 150 degrees. So it's going to be 5 pi over 6. So I'm done with those. So now I need to finish off this one, and this one I'm just going to use the quadrantal angles, and I look for where sine is equal to 1, and sine is 1 right here at 90 degrees. So here the angle sine inverse of 1 is going to give me x. So x is going to be 90 degrees, which is the same as pi over 2. So now my solutions, let me highlight them. My solutions are right here in terms, and these are the other solutions. So that's how to solve that problem.